When my uncle was in his final days, he mentioned seeing the first puppy he had as a small child, tail wagging excitedly, just at the edge of his vision. When he described the dog in exact detail to his brother, he was astonished since he barely recalled the dog from their childhood. I found myself in a meadow. Lush green grass stretched in every direction. It was immaculately beautiful and pristine. I notice a black cat sprinting toward me. It's my shadow, my black cat who had passed on half a year before. He races to me and jumps into my embrace. He feels just as I remember. He was always sturdy and robust from his time as a stray. I cradle him close, overwhelmed with happiness. Pure joy washes over me. Tears well up in my eyes. I hold him, embracing and kissing his fur. I'm overjoyed to see him again, and he seems equally delighted to see me. This happiness feels unprecedented, like nothing I've ever experienced. His love and devotion radiate through me. I heard dogs barking nearby and somehow could comprehend their communication. They were playing together and planning where to continue their game. As I rounded a bend, I saw several dogs gathered together. My heart leaped when I recognized two of my departed dogs among them. I called one dog's name, longing to hold and stroke him. The other dogs immediately raced toward a brilliant light. My dog turned, looked directly at me, and barked. Once again, I understood perfectly. In a clearly scolding voice, he said, "You shouldn't be here now." He turned and joined the other dogs, soon all disappearing into the radiant light. Olivia's near-death experience. When I encountered that extraordinary light, which would appear almost blinding to normal eyes, the first being I saw was our dog Bailey, who had passed 6 months earlier. He had died of old age, but in our reunion, he was vibrant and youthful, resting peacefully in a sunlit field. His love for me and for our shared earthly time together emanated from him. We didn't need words to communicate. Understanding flowed between us naturally. I glanced up to see my grandmother standing there. She had passed many years ago, but it was unmistakably her. She wore a blue dress, and I suddenly recalled seeing her in that same dress at her funeral when I was young. A Boston Terrier stood beside her. We always had Boston Terriers when I was growing up, but this particular dog seemed unfamiliar. Later, searching through old family photographs, I discovered this dog with my grandmother. Her name was Pepper, our family pet when I was born in 1956. I have no personal memories of her, as she was euthanized around 1958. But it was absolutely, undoubtedly, Pepper standing with my grandmother. I noticed movement off to one side and turned to see my dog who had died in 2000. Her name was Daisy, a black and white border collie. There she was. I thought in amazement. I never knew they were part of the afterlife. It brought me such comfort to see her. Though she couldn't approach me, I knew with certainty she was there. Emma's near-death experience. The place I found myself was on a hillside in Riverdale, where my grandmother often collected wildflowers. The grass was incredibly vibrant and green, the atmosphere absolutely perfect, somehow both moving and still. Colors possessed an intensity beyond anything I've ever known. I could perceive and understand everything with my entire being. A dog's tail swished through the tall grass. A beautiful, fluffy puppy wagged happily at me. At first, I didn't recognize her. I had never seen our dog as a puppy before. I felt overwhelming joy at seeing her. We had made the difficult decision to euthanize her 2 weeks before my daughter was born. She had suffered a severe hip injury. We had provided every possible surgery to help her, but her quality of life hadn't improved. It had deteriorated significantly. We said goodbye on my due date. Our hearts were broken by losing the companion who had shared her life with us so generously for 12 wonderful years. Daniel's near-death experience. During this experience, I left my physical body and found myself reunited with my dog who had passed away just a month earlier. I wouldn't be alive today if it weren't for him. That dog was the most important being in my entire life. He had saved me before, and here he was, saving me once again even after death. You'll need to contact me for the complete story, as I become too emotional when reflecting on it. Just know that it was my dog who truly saved my life, not the emergency responders who arrived at my home. Sophia's near-death experience. Horses and dogs played together joyfully. When they paused, they seemed to look straight through me with intense focus before resuming their play. I was informed they were checking if I was the person they were waiting for, someone they had loved during their earthly lives. I found myself before magnificent golden gates. They reminded me of an altar in a traditional church. A misty veil obscured any sense of distance beyond them, but my beloved dog Cooper was there waiting. Cooper had died several years earlier and was the only family connection I had on the other side. Overwhelming joy and love flooded through me as I embraced my dog with my spirit. Although I don't recall Cooper communicating with words, we shared an indescribable happiness at being together again. Nathan's near-death experience figures emerged from the light toward me, but I couldn't identify them because of the brilliant radiance surrounding them. My attention was then drawn to movement on my right. All my former pets, dogs, and cats who had passed away, scrambling over each other to reach me. They gave me the feeling of having just returned from an extended journey, as they appeared tremendously excited to see me again. Emily's near-death experience. Around a gentle stream, animals drank peacefully. I remember seeing a deer and squirrel across the water, with a rabbit on my side of the stream. I sat beside the rabbit and carefully placed it in my lap, stroking its soft fur. I felt no concern about my whereabouts, and no need to question anything. I simply enjoyed the magnificent surroundings and the animals that approached without fear of me or each other. Complete peace enveloped me, with an inner joy resonating through my soul. The landscape seemed infinite, with valleys and mountains extending forever into the distance. Leave a comment below to tell me where you're watching this video from, and share it with someone who needs to hear these stories.